go, everyone. First cardio session, day 1. About 8 o'clock in the morning now. We're gonna hit speed about 2.5. Started off kind of slow now, 2.1, warming up, getting the body moving. Incline, we're gonna go up to about 10 degrees right now, 7.5. So it's breakfast time now. And here we have about 12 ounces of egg whites. Those are egg whites I like to use. And there's 2 whole eggs in there somewhere. Let's mix them up in there. Let's see. There you go. We have 2 whole eggs in there. Some sea salt. Tablespoon of olive oil. Some Pam spray. And then here we have some coffee that does wonders in the mornings. I do not like to use Splenda. I use stevia. Warm the coffee up a little bit. Use a little bit of cashew milk and some cinnamon. That's all about that. If you are hungry, you gotta love the sound of those eggs boiling in the morning. So, you might be asking yourself, hey, well, what's going on with the carbs? There's no carbs in there. Absolutely not. Here we got the finished product. Got my eggs, my coffee on my Spider-Man cup due to the homecoming. Spider-Man movie coming out. This is what I take in the morning: BCAAs, vitamin C, fish oil, some smart water. Maybe get me a little smarter. There's some peanut butter. So why don't I do carbs in the morning? As of now, I don't want to do it due to the simple fact that I have to get down to 185. But no, the real reason is because I feel that after that cardio session I did, it helps speed up the metabolic rate, the fat burning process. I think carbs will get in the way of that and cut that metabolic rate shorter. And you want the body to become a fat burning machine. So by not adding any carbs right now or spiking any glucose, and I think it'll help in that aspect, and I'll take any help I can get. So based on how my day goes, whatever I have to train that day, I'll throw in the carbs in there. The amount I need. So far I've been running clean food. I'm doing a couple weeks of, around about 2 weeks of what I call the pre-contest prep. Just a warm up of what's to come and get my body in shape and in motion again. I've been doing pretty much clean food, been running about 150 to 175 grams of carbs. There's some moderate fats there. Little cheat meals here and there that I posted in Instagram. A burger, and I ate a pizza also last week. Anthony's. Wow, it was delicious. It was probably my last pizza for a while, so I enjoyed it. But above all, it was pretty clean the last 2 weeks, and it's just a warm up of just trying to get my body and my mind in the mindset that I need to be to start today. And here we go. Well, now you see my breakfast, my supplements. Meal 2 will be about
2.5 hours from now. See you.
Here we're doing a little bit of meal prepping in a couple of days. Got some chicken over there and some cod over here. Yeah, the cod gets a little watery. It's ready. And here we have the finished product. Chopped chicken, Chipotle style. That's my fish right there. I don't like it whole, I chop it too. Some brown rice, measuring cup, ready to be separated into, to begin, 7 ounces of protein, cup of rice on first 3 or 4 meals depending on the day, and veggies from there. Here we go, one of my favorite veggies, asparagus. I personally like to chop them into little pieces, it just makes it easier to cook. Put about 2 tablespoons of olive oil, some pan spray, some sea salt, and some garlic powder. Good to go. Cook it in the pan. Get it to your liking. Easy veggies. So here we go. We started with some rear delts, and this is actually one of my favorite movements. I'd rather do this than dumbbells. For the rear delts, I feel that the range of motion it's much more than with dumbbells or reverse pec deck. I usually keep my shoulder workout pretty quick, do about 12 to 15 reps each, and incorporate some giant sets sometimes. So from the rears, I went to single arm press in the machine. Love this machine here. It does hit the front of the delt a little bit. And it eases the joints too, and due to the injuries I have, it helps me, and it doesn't make things worse for me. Here normally I'll just rest maybe 5-10 seconds in between one arm, so I'll normally keep switching back and forth while I increase the weight gradually if I need to, and I'll usually finish off with a giant set here. My rest period normally between sets is very short. Everyone that's worked out with me, all my clients will tell you workouts are intense, and they're very quick. I feel there's a lot of people that rest too much in between sets and lose track of what their goal is, and the goal is total annihilation or whatever muscle you're working on. And from there we went to side laterals with the cables. Same thing, I'd rather do cables than dumbbells. Here, same thing, resting period maybe 5-10 seconds in between arms, and just keep switching back and forth while you increase the weight. The cable is a great movement here, man, because it keeps pulling you down, so there's constant tension on that delt. From there we went to some rope pulls. This is the second exercise for rear delts that I do. I normally do 2 exercises for rear delts. Rear delts is important, man. It adds a lot of width from the back and even from the front. So yeah, I keep the reps normally about 8 to 12 to 15, depending on how I feel, and increase the weight little by little. I adapted this. I actually saw somebody doing this exercise. Nobody I've never seen anybody doing this. It wasn't even a bodybuilder. It was just a regular average Joe doing this exercise, and it goes to show you can learn from anybody. And I'm like, hey, well, this is clever. Let me try it. And so you can see, this is where you do the hack squat in the legs, and man, for shoulder press is incredible isolation in the front delts. And if you have any shoulder injuries like me, the rotator cuff, it eases the injuries. It doesn't make them worse. Just the angle of it just targets that front head of the shoulder there, and it's really good. Keep the reps also around 12 to 15, and the resting about 10-15 seconds, maybe 30 to 40 seconds if you're planning on going heavier. I kept it fairly light. This is my first workout back. From there we went to one arm again, hammer press. And here basically I just supersetted this with side laterals, dumbbell side laterals, and front raises. This was just a finishing move, nothing crazy heavy. Again, I can't usually press heavy, so I have to find a method to make my shoulders grow without irritating my injuries. So yeah, basically this was a good finisher for me. And here we go with the the side laterals, and jumped in right into the front raises after that, with the dumbbells. And again, nothing crazy heavy. Eventually I'll start getting a little bit stronger, but I usually don't keep the weight any higher than 25-30 pounds with his movements. Again, it's a superset, so and a finishing movement. By this time your shoulders should be on fire, so I will encourage anyone to try this. It's definitely a shoulder killer. And here we got some triceps. It was just a tricep touch-up. I do triceps twice a week, and shoulders as well twice a week. So here we got some push downs, and again, I try to go as heavy as I possibly can without hurting my elbow. I do have a partial tear on the tricep tendon in my right arm, as well as the medial tricep head was torn about 3 years ago. So there's always pain there. And then I will superset the push downs with the single arm cable overhead here, and it fills the tricep up with blood, and it's really easy on the joints as well. It gets you ready for any type of pressing, any pressing movements that you will do afterwards. Normally I do about 3 or 4 sets of each exercise, based on how I feel. I usually don't like to count. I do have a goal in mind, but I go mainly by feel. If I feel good at 15, I'll stop at 15. If not, I'll keep doing 20. It all depends on how I feel. That's mainly where I guide myself. So from there we went to the tricep overhead machine here. It's really good too. This was I believe the last workout I did for the tricep there, the last exercise. Again, I went a little heavier.
Second session
the
in
reps were about
progress.
12 to 15.
And another 15 minutes here. Intervals. What I do for intervals is play with my incline level. So I'll bring it up to about 15 degrees for about a minute, then bring it back down to 16 degrees, to 6 degrees. Keep the speed at about 2.3 to 2.5 where I'm comfortable. Here we go.